What's good, my people? We'll wait for some people to get on here. Kind of explain what's going to be happening is every Tuesday and Thursday moving forward, I'm going to be answering people's questions. There's going to be a link for you to be able to like submit questions for me to answer. And when it comes to fitness, nutrition, mindset, just here to bring value to you guys and to help you move towards your goals when it comes to nutrition, fitness, and mindset. So with this being recorded, we'll just go ahead and get this going. And when people get on, we can have everything happen. We'll keep it rolling. So one of the first questions that we have today is from Ray. He's looking to get fit and healthy, and pretty much his goal he was asking is, would you please talk a little bit about the importance of consistency with our daily nutrition and the methods you will suggest to help us manage our nutrition goals better and stay consistent. So, number one thing is consistency. Consistency is the main issue and the main key to really getting to reaching your goals when it comes to losing body fat, gaining muscle. You got to stay consistent with your nutrition. That's the main focus. And then from there, you want to focus on the big picture. And, set up a game plan for yourself where you can, get to that goal over a duration of time. A lot of times people try to, lose weight or gain muscle and they want to do it in 2 weeks. They want to do it in 4 weeks. And not to say that it's not good to get momentum going, but you got to look at the big picture. So let's just say you're trying to lose 30, 40 pounds, by having good habits, that's going to be the key to allowing you to, reach those goals over a duration of time. Because, a person can lose weight, pretty fast in a short time period, but if you don't have the habits, you're not going to be able to maintain it. And then from there, creating a regimen for yourself where, you understand the types of foods that you enjoy, you have your go-to foods that are going to be best for you, and then you plan ahead by meal prepping and having things, set in place for you to be able to be successful throughout the day. And, creating an environment in your home where, you have the foods in your refrigerator, you don't have those urges and, those things that that you could possibly overeat, readily available. So, the more you have quality foods and, you have things in place to set you up for success, that's going to be the biggest key to, helping you be able to, reach those goals that you desire. And then the next thing I would say is, when you do deviate from your plan, so let's just say you have a bad meal, you just move on and make sure that next meal is where it needs to be. And then let's just say you have a bad day, you just got to move on. Let's just say you got a bad week, you move on. You got a bad month, you move on. The quicker you can move on, the better and the faster you're going to get back on track. So you can't get too upset with yourself when you're not perfect, because nobody's perfect. I got my FBB Pro card and I haven't been perfect with my diet all this time, but I've learned to stay consistent and be able to, move forward and let go of the negative things. And the faster you can do that, the better results you're going to get big picture. So instead of trying to, you have a super bad, day of dieting, and then you say to yourself, I'm going to not eat the next day, or, try to subtract the amount of calories that you ate the day before, it just creates a lot of issues. Let's just say you got 2,000 calories you got to eat the next day, just focus on hitting those 2,000 calories, and then the next day doing the same thing. So hope that makes sense for you guys. So then next question. What are your thoughts on how many carbohydrates to eat in the last 2 to 4 weeks of a cut? I'm going from 16% body fat to 11.5% body fat, and I'm trying to get to 10% body fat by September 1st. Is keto a good strategy, or would you recommend something different? So, what I would suggest, with this kind of question, I would need to know, specifically, what kind of training you're doing, how much food you're currently eating, a lot of different things when it comes to your macros, how much weight you are, how tall you are. So it'll be a lot of variables, and what you've been doing, over the last couple months when it comes to the way that you're eating, how much cardio you're doing. So it'll be a lot of things I would need to know to specifically help you be able to, on an optimal level, get to that body fat percentage, by September. But what I have found is when, people are in the late stages of dieting, carb cycling, I found for myself as well as, my clients, that are getting ready for shows and trying to get really, really lean, and, even just, lifestyle clients, Carb cycling helps you be able to break through those plateaus. And so you have, some days when your carbs are higher, and then there's days when your carbs are lower. And, a lot of times if your carbs are super low for too long, you can start to have situations where you are really hungry and you possibly can overeat, as well as, you have times where your weight can stall because your metabolism your body starts to kind of fight itself when it comes to, trying to lose weight. Even though if you're in a deficit, you will lose weight, but you can start to kind of hold on to water, your cortisol levels, mentally, it just kind of like push you in a position where you stall when those calories are really, really low. So sometimes when you have that time period where you have like an increase in calories, it speeds up your overall activity, your net non-exercise activity, thermogenesis starts to increase. You are able to lift harder in the gym, and then sometimes something called the whooshing effect happens, where if you've been holding on to a lot of water, you can see that that weight come off by having like a higher calorie meal. And as well as when it comes to hormonal levels like your ghrelin and leptin, increasing your carbohydrates can increase the leptin and reduce the ghrelin. And so those things are different kind of strategies that can help continue to allow you to see that change on the scale and put you in a position to be able to get to that place when calories are really low. And then when it comes to keto, any diet can work. A lot of times women, they respond better to like higher fat diets, but it all just depends on your body and whether or not you are really insulin sensitive or you're insulin resistant. And if you're insulin resistant, your body doesn't process carbs as well. So like I said, though, I would need to know specifically what you are doing and like all the data that you've accumulated over this time period to figure out whether or not what you need to do over that time period. So then the next question is, will protein shakes make you bulky? I get a lot of people bring that up, and you hear people talk about that. One of the things that people don't realize is protein is actually one of the most thermogenic macronutrient when it comes to carbohydrates and fats. So it takes a little bit more for your body to process protein, so you actually burn a little more calories. And then also, when you eat protein, it creates a higher level of satiety, so you are less hungry. And so if you're less hungry, you're going to have a less chance of overeating. And but if at the end of the day, if you want to lose weight, you want to lose body fat, then you have to be in a caloric deficit. So let's just say you're drinking lots of protein shakes, but then you're still overeating. So let's just say, for you to not gain any weight, you got to eat 2,000 calories. And if you eat anything above that, then you start to gain weight. So if you drink protein shakes and then you're overeating, then you're going to gain weight. But so the key is to, make sure that you're in a caloric deficit, but without a shadow of a doubt, protein is going to be the key to helping you change your body composition in the way that you desire. Most people say that they want to get lean or have like a toned look. What that basically comes down to is you maintaining or building the muscle building muscle and losing body fat. And if you want to be able to do that, you have to take in the right amount of protein to, keep the muscle tissue and then allow yourself to be in a deficit and lose that body fat. So hope that answers your question. And then the next question, have your priorities changed since you first started your business? Yes, they have. Now, my priorities are just about me. Like, I have my son, and then also I have employees, and, so it's not just about me anymore. And I have like a lot of clients. So all the decisions that, I make, have an effect on a lot of other people. So, as well as making sure that I keep the health of my business in a good place. So, when it comes to, my priorities are pretty much the same. Me focusing on like taking care of Devin and making sure that I'm good. But then from there, I have employees now. So it's not just about me. So my decisions have a huge effect on a lot of other people. So I'm more focused on not just me anymore, but making sure I'm doing the right thing for the people who believe in me and keep doing what I'm doing. And then, so next question is, how do you stay motivated and on top of your goals when life throws you curveballs? So, I made a decision to create a life that I love. So, fitness and nutrition and helping people is something that I love. So I'm able to stay motivated pretty easily because I do what I love every single day. So it doesn't really feel like I'm working. And then from there, what I have been able to do is get myself around people who know more than me and that I trust. So I can confide in them, get advice from them, people who have been in situations that I've been in before, that I haven't been in yet, or, they've been in those situations before. So then I can get really great advice. So I got a lot of great people around me that love me, that I can trust and know more than me. So that's how I'm able to continue to move forward when those curveballs come about. And so then the next question is it better to lift weights first or cardio first? So that's a really great question. And what's interesting is you see a lot of people, they're looking to lose weight and they do a lot of cardio, intense cardio, then they go train. But really, if you're trying to, lose body fat, which is like I talked about, people wanting to get toned, you got to maintain or build muscle and you got to lose body fat. So the keys with that is you want to prioritize, resistance training. That's going to actually increase a higher level, create more of a metabolic, environment within your body when it comes to being able to, lose body fat and, and process food in a more efficient way. So then you can, change your body composition. But you want to prioritize your energy and power output and being able to lift as much weight and do as many reps with really good form and focus. So if you go and do like some intense cardio where you like running on the treadmill or you're doing, the elliptical or the Stairmaster, whatever that may be, and you really push yourself, you're sweating, you're depleted, you're losing sodium and water, your nutrients, then when you go try to lift weights, you're not going to be able to lift as heavy. You're not going to be able to lift as intensely. So, but if your goals are endurance, so you're trying to increase your endurance, then yeah, being able to, do your cardio beforehand, if you're like an athlete or something of that nature, or you're like a runner, then it could be of benefit if the main goal is endurance. But if your main goal is body fat loss, or you're trying to get stronger, or you're trying to build muscle, it's going to be better to really put all your energy into lifting, with really good technique, with really good focus, doing as many reps as you can and lifting as much weight as you can with good technique. And then from there, your diet and then the cardio is just going to be, a supplement to making sure that you're in a caloric deficit. So like, even if you just like walk and get steps. So I have so many clients, their goal is to get 12,000 steps. And, from there, if they manage their nutrition properly and their training, they're going to lose the weight, and the steps are just helping them burn calories. You don't have to like do cardio in a super intense way to be able to lose weight. You just need to, really, like I said, focus on your training, focus on really solid nutrition, and then from there, just those extra calories burn in whatever way you desire. Even just simply walking, if you do it the right way, will get you where you need to be. So I hope that answers that question. And then, what's the best diet for weight loss? So whatever diet you can stick to. So if you're vegan, keto, macros, whatever it is, whatever diet is something that you can enjoy and that you can do long term, that's going to be the best diet. But then from there, making sure that you're getting adequate protein. That's going to be the key to, helping you be able to, get your body composition where it needs to be. And then so from there, get your protein where it needs to be, whether you're vegan, you eat meat, whatever that may be, and then you do a diet that you can do long term. So like, instead of thinking to yourself, I'm going to do something for a month and try to lose weight, what happens after that? You need to find something that long term, a year from now, you can still do and that you can enjoy and maintain. So that'd be the best diet, the diet that you can stick to the longest. And then next one, is it best to eat before working out? If yes, what should I eat? So, that's a really great question. So a lot of people that I train, they work out totally fasted and they feel totally fine. And then there are people who, if they work out fasted, they feel lightheaded and, can't do it. And then there are people who they eat food before they work out and they feel, woozy and they feel like they're going to throw up. So that's going to be something based off of what's best for you. But then from there, if you do choose to eat beforehand, what I would suggest, if your goal is to, optimize your training, is to, get, a solid amount of protein in some kind of like palm size of protein in your diet. And then from there, because that's going to help with, protein synthesis, and then, like a small amount of fast digesting carbs to give you some energy, some quick energy to be able to push through your workout, as well as strengthening. And then also making sure that you get some sodium in your diet when it comes to volumization of your blood and you're getting a good pump. So if you get, some solid sodium, some, a pinch of sodium, some Himalayan sea salt is really good. Making sure that you're really hydrated so you can be able to perform and, get maximum output when it comes to your muscles. And then from there, getting some kind of solid protein and, a simple carb, a fast carb to be able to get. But then from there, the amount that you should get is going to be relative to what your goals are, how much you weigh, things of that nature. So then the next one is, can protein shakes make you fat? So, once again, the only way that you gain body fat is you got to be in a caloric surplus. If you're in caloric surplus, whatever you eat, you're gonna gain weight. So that's basically taking in more calories than you burn. But from there, once again, like I said, protein shakes are really, really good to allow you to be able to get that supplement, that protein in an easy way. And if you want to change your body composition, you got to get the right amount of protein. And like I said before, it increases your satiety. So like most of the time, if you prioritize protein in your diet, it's going to be real hard to overeat. So a lot of times, like if a person was to say, you know what, I'm going to make sure to, in the morning time, have a solid amount of protein in the morning. And there's even been studies with, older adults who, consume a higher amount of protein in the morning, as their first meal, then they end up, being able to lose weight more effectively and efficiently than people who, have carbs, as their first meal. And, so just protein is an amazing way. If you want to lose weight and you don't want to think too deep about it, eating quality protein, and then from there, fruits and vegetables, most likely you're probably going to start losing weight. So to answer that question, protein shakes don't make you fat, being in a caloric surplus will. And then so next question, what is your biggest takeaway from being a business owner trainer? What I found is that like I have to be super clear with myself. I can't lie to myself. And if, anything that changes within me, I see that change in my business as well as the people who are connected to me that work for me and that I train. So, it's all about me making sure that I stay clear within myself. I love myself and like make sure I'm caring for myself. And from that space, when I do that, everything else works out really well. So like this business, I'm realizing this is an extension of me. So like if I'm in good health, I'm clear, then the business is running well. And if I'm not, then things start to deviate. So that's one of the biggest take homes as, being a business owner. And then when it comes to being a trainer, what I have found, all this stuff we're talking about fitness, we're talking about nutrition, but the biggest thing, if you want to be successful, in training and in business, but specifically in training, this is a business of, relationships. And, what I found is that, for clients who get the best results, they trust me. And then from there, they start to trust themselves. And, so from there, the only way that the person is going to gain trust is you got to have a good relationship. You got to be able to be authentic. You got to be able to be real. You got to be able to be vulnerable. So, from that space, yeah, you got to have the skills. You got to really know what you're talking about, know what you're doing, and have a system to get people to where they want to be. But the biggest thing is building that relationship with them. And then from there, the sky's the limit. I've had people go from, just Joe Schmo, regular person to, high level fitness, achievements through, building great relationships. So the relationship is the key. And then from there, everything else, it'll fall into place. And then next question, what should I eat after a late workout? So once again, I keep saying the same thing, especially post-workout, protein synthesis is key to being able to develop and build muscle. So, when you get done with your workout, you got to get that protein in and to allow yourself to recover well, to allow your body to optimally, build muscle tissue. So that's going to be the best thing to eat, post-workout, even if it's late. Protein is slow digesting, so it's going to allow your body you're going to process it really well, and so that's the best thing. Post workout, you got to get protein in, and a lot of times people think that as soon as you get done with your workout, you got to have a protein shake and drink it, or you're going to start losing muscle. But really, it's somewhere around like 2 to 4 hours after your workout. You want to make sure you get some quality protein source that's high in leucine, and because that has a higher protein, it's going to help increase that protein synthesis. And leucine is going to be like things like eggs, whey protein, chicken, things of that nature. So then from there, next question, what's up with gluten? So, a lot of people don't realize gluten intolerance is at the root of a lot of different issues with people when it comes to like their gut health, all kind of different diseases. And what happens is the main issue is that when you take in gluten, then, it affects your gut, where then you're not able to absorb nutrients. And if you can't absorb nutrients, it doesn't matter if people say, you are what you eat, but really you are what you absorb. So if you're not absorbing nutrients, you got huge problems, all kind of issues over, 900 different diseases are rooted in nutrient deficiency. So different diabetes, high blood pressure, all the different main things that people have issues with. It comes down to the things that they're eating. So when you have a diet that's high in gluten, and most of the time foods that are high in gluten, wheat, and rye, all these processed, carbohydrates, and they are deficient in nutrients, and then they have a high level of, it increases your hunger. So then it's really easy to overeat. It's high in fat, high in sugar, high in sodium, and it's, lacking nutrients. So, when you have a high gluten diet, you're not getting the nutrients that you need, and then you're over consuming your calories, and then your gut health really gets affected profoundly. So, if you have like a lot of issues when it comes to losing weight, when it comes to, health issues, one of the best things you can do is, going on a gluten-free diet. Can really, really have profound effects on your overall health as well as your composition and, your body composition. So then, so let's see. So then the next question, how do I grow my glutes? So if you want to grow any any body muscle group, you got to be in a caloric surplus. You have to be taking in more calories than you're burning, number one. It doesn't matter how hard you're going in the gym. If you're not in a surplus, you're not going to be able to gain muscle. And so then from there, finding exercises that are going to prioritize, glute development. So things like hip thrusts, glute bridges, hip dominant like lunges, things of that nature, like different kind of hinge movements are going to be really good. And then having a program that's, has good solid rep ranges that are going to allow you to be, allow your body to, break down that muscle. You got to get stronger. And, so there's some metabolic damage. There's, metabolic stress, muscle damage, metabolic stress, and mechanical tension. And all those different forms are going to be ways that you're going to be able to build muscle. And you just got to have a program that's going to put you in a position to optimize that in the best and most optimal way. And then the next thing is making sure that you're recovering properly, because if you train too hard, then you can almost put yourself in a position where you start to like have diminishing returns. So you want to be able to recover well. You want to be able to make sure you're in a caloric surplus. And then you want to make sure that you are training the body part in a way that's going to allow it to grow in the most optimal way. So then next question, what should I do to stop binge eating? What I found with that, many times that's an internal issue. And, when it comes to like your emotions and like having like an attachment to associating, food to, different emotions that we feel. And what I found is that, the more you can get, sorry, so I don't know what happened. Sorry about that. But the more that you can get in tune with your inner self and get calm within, then, and figure out what that root issue is, then from there, it allows you to be able to be more clear in the decisions that you make almost in any kind of perspective, even beyond just eating. But, with that being said, the things that you can do when it comes to eating is, a lot of times people binge from having like a really, really restrictive diet. And, they like take out food groups for a very long time in a profound way where it's like either a black or white thing where like these foods are good, these foods are bad. And, they start to associate, food in a way that, creates bad attachments. So if you can learn to, at the end of the day, you got to eat nutrient-dense foods. You got to, whole nutrient-dense foods are going to be the best thing. But from there, allowing yourself to, have some things that you enjoy and not having such a bad feeling about it and, beating yourself up. You know what I mean? Like if you choose to have some foods that are outside of your meal plan or whatever that may be, or your nutrition plan, you just got to let it be easy about it, and then just get back on track. But the more you start to get neurotic and like talk bad about yourself and get negative, then it just puts you in a position where it's just like this yo-yo effect versus just like allowing yourself to get calm. And what I found is meditation is a really good way to, gain that calmness. And, and like I said, looking at the big picture and being kind to yourself and being easy about it. And from there, you start to, figure it out and get used to things in a clear and good way. All right. So then from there, what are the benefits of having a one-on-one coach? I got this whole gym in here and, that's my business, but I also have an online business. But what I have found is that the clients who get the best results are the ones who have accountability outside of the gym. Because let's just say, you're training in the gym. Let's say you train for an hour a day. What are you doing after that 23 hours? And having a coach will guide you, will allow you to be able to make the right decisions when it comes to like the way that you need to train, how much you need to eat, when you eat. And then you have that person that has that support, when things seem to not be working out the right way. So let's just say, you're, not seeing any change on the scale for the last week or 2 weeks, but then your coach can see that you're losing body fat. that you're building muscle, that, your body fat percentage is going down. And then, you keep going with it. And then, compared to another person, they are losing weight and they're doing everything perfectly. They're on top of their game and they didn't lose weight for 2 weeks and they quit. But really, maybe they gained, 3 pounds of muscle and then, they lost 3 pounds of body fat. That's a 6-pound change, which is pretty phenomenal in a short time period. And, they quit not realizing that they're actually making progress. So having somebody that, is 10 steps ahead of you when it comes to, what they know and how to get to where you want to be, it gives you that calmness and it gives you that, surety that you're moving in the right direction. And if you have questions, they're there to answer them. And then, you got to send your progress photos. You got to, keep track of your weight. And then they're being able to, from a non-emotional place, look at what's happening with you and then help you make best decisions. And then, guide you towards that place that you want to be. Compared to when you do it on your own, you can be all over the place. You don't know if you're doing it right. You're looking at checking out this person, checking out that, and then it just kind of throws you off. So having a coach, a one-on-one coach, is profound. If you're trying to really lose weight or really change your body composition, like I even have a coach. You know what I'm saying? So I got my IFBB Pro card. I've coached hundreds of people, and when it's time for me to really lock in, I get a coach because even though I got all this knowledge, I know all this stuff. I can't rationally judge what's happening with myself as well as a person who knows maybe more than me or just as much as me, and they're not they don't have a bias about it. They're just being objective. So a one-on-one coach is an amazing thing when it comes to really reaching those goals, because like I said, even just having a personal trainer, that personal trainer is just with you for that hour. A coach that you got that's an accountability coach, a one-on-one coach, they're going to be able to help you throughout the whole day and see what's happening big picture. And then our last question was what is it like having an online coach? Is that kind of answered the question already? It's one of the best things you can get when it comes to accountability, when it comes to gaining knowledge, when it comes to making sure that things are happening like they need to, when changing your workout, changing your cardio, being able to answer your questions, checking your form. It's an amazing thing to have. If you got the right coach, it's going to really help you be able to gain the knowledge and the foundation to be able to make this something that's long term. All right, well, that's all of the questions. Next Tuesday is going to be the next time we're on. So make sure if you have any kind of questions, send fill out that Google Doc. And, thank you for everybody that got on. I'm super excited about this. And, I just want to bring value to you guys. And, the things that I've learned over all these years, I just want to share it with you guys. So, make sure to let people know about this, share it next time. And you got any kind of questions, don't hesitate to put them in the Google Doc. All right, guys, you guys have a good day. Remember, what the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. All right, peace, guys.